Hi everyone! Welcome to my quick tip corner. Today's tip is all about being organized and estimating your time. We're going to take a few minutes. I'm going to go through and explain how you can take your to-do list and use relative estimating to make sure that you're maximizing your time and getting things done.
When thinking about planning, especially when I'm planning for an entire week or a project, things like that, I often use relative estimating. Relative estimating is a great way to estimate things without thinking specifically about time. So the way that I use relative estimating is I use something from the Fibonacci sequence of numbers. And the Fibonacci sequence here starts off with assigning things numbers based on how much time you think they're going to take, but not necessarily connected to a time measure, like 1 hour, 2 hour, things like that. So we're going to assign our tasks with either a 1, a 2, a 3, a 5, or an 8. And this follows the idea of the Fibonacci sequence. So when I look over here at my to-do list for the week, I have to update my gradebook, create my weekly newsletter, plan a guided reading lesson, make copies for the week, plan field trips for my grade level team, update my bulletin board. I gotta call one of my students' parents, and I also have to update another student's goals for the week. So when I think about my list here, I first decide which of these tasks do I think will take the least amount of time, and I'm going to assign it a 1. So when I look at this list, I would say that the least amount of time is going to be to call a student's parents. I can usually do that in a short amount of time, so I'm going to assign that a 1. Next, I have to decide which of these tasks is going to take me the most amount of time, and I'm going to assign that an 8. So, thinking about how I work, and this is just relative to how I work, not comparing it to other people, I would say that planning for the field trip is probably going to take me the most amount of time. When I think about what I have to do, I have to call the field trip place, get a date in mind, put together the permission slips, make the copies, get the chaperones. It just seems like a lot to do within that one task. So I'm going to assign that an 8. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to choose a number value based on comparing it to the 1 that I've assigned and the 8 that I've assigned, and I'm going to give each of my tasks a value. So updating the gradebook, I would say that that's probably about a 3 for me. That doesn't take too much time, but definitely something that I need to consider. Creating my weekly newsletter, I would say that again is about a 3. Planning a guided reading lesson, I'm pretty good at that. I've done it a lot, so it goes pretty quickly. Making copies for the week, oh man, our copier has been down, so that's definitely taking a lot more of my time. Updating a bulletin board, I'm pretty quick at that, so I would say a 3. And updating Caleb's goals for the week, that I would say would be another 2. So now I have my list of tasks, and I'm going to think about my week. So when I have my weekly schedule, I like to think about what I have for each day. So during the day, I have a planning bell every one of these days, and I also usually allow for an hour in the morning before school to get ready. I'm usually one that leaves pretty much after school because I have to pick my daughter up and things like that. So to me, I have an hour before school, and then I usually have about 30 minutes for my break each day. And so when I think about my tasks, I think about calling Sam's parents. If I had to call parents during one of my breaks, I would say that I could get 3 of them done within that break period. So I'll even up this, we have 40-minute bells, so just to help make these about the same, I'll go ahead and just say that these are both an hour, just for the sake of our demonstration here. So if I can call 3 people during one break, then that means that I can approximately do 3 points worth of tasks during each of these bells. So if I think about this, I should be able to call Sam's parents and update Caleb's goals during the same planning bell, because 1 + 2 is 3. But then if I look at the bulletin board and I assign, we'll put an M here for Monday, and let's say that I also decided I was going to update my bulletin board, I might do that during my planning bell. And that's a 3, so I can only do that one task. Then I have an 8. Well, the 8 is going to take me 2 of my bells, my 1-hour periods, plus some of an additional other. So I would say that I would take all of Tuesday, plan the field trip, this whole bell here, and this whole bell here to plan for the field trip. So you can see that I am going through and assigning each of my tasks a day. Now obviously there are certain days that you might need specific tasks, so I might have to make my copies always on Tuesday or something like that, and you can shuffle some things around. But as you can see, we can put all of these things in here. Maybe this is my grade book day during this planning bell. Maybe I decide my newsletter is going to go here. That was another 3. And my guided reading lesson plan would be here. Let's see. And I might even have a little extra time on that one. And my copies might be on Friday, and it's going to take a little more than one of those periods. So you can see how I've scheduled all of my time thinking carefully about what I am able to get done. When I don't plan things out like this, what usually happens is I start a task, don't have enough time to finish it, come back to it, then I started another task, and I'm not using my time efficiently. So again, you can use relative estimating as a way to kind of figure out the things that you need to do and start assigning them to the specific time that you have allowed. As you notice, I was able to get all of my tasks done within my work week and not having to take things home after school or on the weekend. Now obviously you probably have more things to do than just this to-do list, but this gives you an idea of how you can start to minimize the things that you are taking home and doing outside of school and maximizing your time within the day.